All right, we are live here with back at the old channel, but I've renamed it OnlyFans of Running. Somehow, this name wasn't taken. I guess there's a lot of serious runners out there. So don't worry, it's a free channel, it's a free live stream. There's no paywall to get in here, and I will not be showing anybody my feet. So uh, only the wife gets the feet. Please don't unsubscribe. So we do segments during these live streams, and I have the last few weeks been forgetting to ask questions on IG. We'll do IG wrong answers only. I can't give you the wrong answers because I don't have any questions. I guess there's no dumb questions, but it's pretty dumb not to ask any questions. Maybe I don't know. So uh, shoe news. We do shoe news. I put the shoe on the thumbnail was the Nike Rival Fly 4. I'm probably not going to talk about that shoe right now because then everybody will leave. And they'll be like, all right, great. That's what the internet needs. Another Nike Rival Fly 4 thing. And probably no one's going to show up anyway because it's on this other channel and not on the main channel. And the reason that I do that is it's kind of weird. YouTube is weird. When I do live streams, then it like finishes the live stream and then it goes to my videos. And then it messes up with how it releases the videos. I can't fix this up. We're just gonna lose the hat. Not that you care. So anyway, let's talk about running. What we talk about when we talk about running. All right. So I'm creating content for Midlife Runner, but it's inspired again. I think I got in a not a funk there for a while, but I just was I'm gonna cuss, guys. I was just um not making some bullshit, but I mean I was just getting some shoe reviews out there. I was feeding the beast, the YouTube algorithm. You quit posting. I think something happened the first year when I was making videos that I forgot to post a week, and then somebody was like, "Hey, I can't find your video. I had to look for it." And I was like, "Oh, the algorithm quit bumping my shit. It quit because I missed a week." And so from that day forward, I was like, I have to post consistently. I have to post every Friday. So I'm running around trying to get some content, but I got 3 kids, full-time job. I'm running, I'm doing all these things. So then I think what happened sometime last year was the channel kind of just became me sitting into 1,000 shots talking about a running shoe. And this is not why I started YouTube. It's not whatever. So I think making the contractually my fulfilling my obligation to make the how I broke sub 3 and the video that I did before that was insight into getting faster. And then now I'm going to be doing a 1 week of the burst phase. Certainly inspired by those. I've always liked those training videos, but by Kafuzi's run a series, there's something really soothing about those. They're just going on. I feel like I could just like watch people do it. I used to watch Run Like Heller many years ago when she was training. She would just be like, and I ran 6 easy on a Tuesday, and then this happened and whatever. And I would just like watch it. Something about it. But I love creating. And so no more half-ass shoe reviews. Not that I was taking them off, it's just not that anyone's here for production value. Let's be honest. Okay. I own like one light, so anyway, it's been a challenge to get the running in, and my wife is in Japan right now for 10 days. So I think I put in there my wife ran to Japan. She got in with the EF tours, so like schoolers can spend $5,000 over the course of 4 years, payment plans to take a 2-week trip or 10-day trip to a place. My wife, and those kids need chaperones. So when my wife was a teacher, she signed up. So she is last year she went to Greece and Italy. This year she's going to Japan. That's where she's at. So I told her while she was there, I showed her picture. This is the Asics Metaspeed Tokyo. Okay, Tokyo. This is the Tokyo. This is the Ray. These shoes. They're not out here till July 25th. If you happen to see it, I know you're busy. You got plans. You got kids to look after. If you see this shoe, we got to do it. I mean, we got the Fast-R 3 when we were in Boston at the Puma store. I mean, it was there. The Elite 3 was there. We had to do it. So she said, yeah, I'll look. And so I got a call like at 3:41 in the morning, my time, Central Standard Time. I guess it was probably 5 p.m. her time. And I told her, you can call me at 3:41 a.m. Anytime from a shoe store in Japan, and I'm going to pick up. I'm going to pick up anyway. I'm always going to pick up, but maybe just a little bit faster if you're in an ASICS store. So I pick up the phone at like 3:41, and she's like, "Okay, here are the options." I was like, "Ooh, okay. What do we got?" And she's like, "Okay, so Boston 13, but it's like this Japan colorway. It's like this new, it's like colorway that I was like, oh, okay." And she goes, the Evo SL. She was like, "I like those. I want one of those." And that's SL2. I was like, okay. So here's the deal. I think she listens to me. I think she puts on the live streams in the background at her work, and I think she hears me. And I think when I say my wife, her ears kind of perk up. I don't think she really listens. So I was like, okay, like I get it. I mean, Asics, Adidas, they both start with the letter A. So I understand some of the confusion. But I don't think she was in an Adidas store either. I think she was just in a shoe store. So I said, okay, well, no, I'm looking for these shoes. She goes, yeah. She knew what she was doing. She was like, no, they don't have those shoes. They had a release and then they sold out, and so they're not coming back until whatever later. So I was like, okay. I was like, no. Then we're good. And she's like, oh, but I really like these Evo SLs. So whoever's doing the marketing for casual wear is doing a bang up job. They're just killing it because she wanted to wear those. And I was like, but she pronates. So I was like, no, don't get those. She's like, what about these SL2s? I was like, they're $50 here in the States. Just walk away from the store. Just walk away. She's like, will you write me a plan? I was like, yeah, I can write you a plan. Cause she did run a 10K in under 90 minutes, but she hates running. So she's got one gear. She's running or she's not running. And I think she went with me to the Kafuzi Run Club shakeout run for the Houston 2024 marathon. And that was a 5K PB for her. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. But, I told her she's probably more of a New Balance Vongo girly. So we held off. There were no shoes purchased at that time. So see who's in here. Jen Piazza's in here. Nobody should see runners' feet. They shouldn't. Yeah. That would disqualify anyone from probably being on a foot website. Not that I know anything about those. They'd be like, "Are you a runner?" It's not going to work, right? A foot model can't be a runner. Got to save the feet. Only UFOs. Just no actual running shoes. Matt Byers in here. He says, no meetings today. So midlife on in the background. Yeah, this curveball throwing this other channel going, Matt. There's like 4 people in here, and there's normally like 40. So, I guess maybe this won't work. I don't know, but we're here anyway. So, and it's weird. What I was saying earlier is that now as I return to, I think that's why Kafuzi ended up doing a separate channel for the Kafuzi Run Club. Also, is that like when he had them both on the same channel, but then it kind of interferes with the distribution of the other content and stuff. And so, I don't think YouTube's kind of got that figured out. All of the experts on YouTube say that no, that's not the case, but there's receipts. All right. So Rival Fly 4. This shoe came in at buyer. Hey, look at this. Rival Fly 4. There we go. It's so ugly. It's an ugly colorway. The flames just look so cheesy. It reminds me of those little Hot Wheels. Anytime they put these flames on a shoe, it's like, look at me. I'm fast. I'm fast, Mom. Look. Yeah, I got flames on these. Yeah, ka-chow. It's so cheesy looking to me. I don't know. But this shoe is the Nike Rival Fly 4 on the record, officially an absolute danger. Yeah, bet you thought I was going to say banger, but no, it's a danger. So you start running in these shoes, and then you say, dang. Okay, that's it. And I'm sure there's a Joe Dirt joke somewhere in here, but I rewatched the Nike Rival Fly 4 review from my man Sagasu, and he went into the history of it. He talked about it being like a stripped down Pegasus. And he knows his Nike. Sagasu knows his Nike. And I would agree. And it's got a little bit more of a bounce. I'm not going to nerd out on the foam here and tell you what kind of foam it is. But I walk casually a lot, and I take to work the Nike Vomero 16, and it kind of has that nice bounce to it still, but it's got the Nike outsole that's just plenty of coverage for it. But it's lightweight. I took it. It's zesty. It's definitely a shoe that, even though it's like the racing flat, but it feels more like a daily trainer. It's like a version, like a daily trainer that I can really pick up the pace, because daily trainers, a lot of times they're like, this is a daily trainer. You can do everything in a daily trainer. That's the point of a daily trainer. It can go fast. It can go slow. You could just do your miles, workhorse, blah, 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 blah. But like, really, I'm not ripping 400-meter repeats in the Nova Blast 4. I'm not. Maybe the Nova Blast 1. But, and to be honest, most of us runners have shoe problems. We have multiple shoes. Take out a speed day shoe for a speed day. Kind of just want something to go. But that shoe is a fun shoe. So I put on my Stravers that it was like a rebel killer. And I don't mean that in that like it feels anything like the New Balance Rebel V3 or 4. It doesn't, right? It does, or especially the 4. 4 is wide, 5's wide, but like they used to be like 2. My foot for the Rebel V2 was like over the foam, it was almost too small, but it's a nimble, faster daily trainer. That's what I mean by that. And it was $65. It was a budget buy, an absolute danger. Yeah. But there are a couple things that I think you should know about the shoe, because who's outside of Sagasu, who's talking about the Nike Rival Fly 4? I've seen some reviews because I watched that one. Then all of a sudden I got a bunch of Rival Fly 4 reviews because that's how the algorithm works. It's not as light as the Adios 9, which is like 6 ounces, and a lot of shoes are trending towards the lighter category. I got it in at about 8 ounces, but I feel like that extra weight makes it more accessible. It's more accessible. Where it's not so little underfoot that you would not want to run in it because you're like, well, 4 miles, maybe your 5-mile run. Like I could take it for 8 miles and it'd feel great. So, um, can I cuss? No one's in here, right? I can cuss. I fucking love this shoe. I think it's great. I have too many shoes right now, certainly. So, trying to find a place for it is tough because I'm doing the cliche hard days hard, easy days easy. I can between the Adios 9, the Streak Fly 2, and this shoe, I think I can use it for some speed work. So I think I can work it in there because I've just been alternating between the Glycerin Max. Oh, and the other shoe I got in here. I got the appropriate size for the Mizuno Neo Vista version 2. So V1, I got it in a US men's size 9. Still a little long, but it was okay. I tried to run in the V2 size 9 and I just couldn't. My foot was sliding around. And so I had to um, size down half size and it came in and it is a completely different ride experience. So, oh, and by the way, the Rival Fly 4 takes the crown for the ugliest shoe that I own now from the Zoom Fly 6. So Nike's just killing it in that game. So they're the opposite of Adidas on the casual wear stuff. So, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the Neo Vista 2. It's too much. It's too much. I know, like, okay, it's a Max Stack New Balance 1080 V13. It's too soft. It's so soft. Like there's max category shoes that are bouncy and fun, like the Puma Mag Max, the Skyward X, the SC Trainer version 1, even version 2, very bouncy. It's got some pep. Then there's the softer or comfortable shoes. Like the Glycerin Max is semi-soft and very comfortable. And the Neo Vista is semi-comfortable, but really soft. And the problem is that when I step down and compress the foam, it doesn't come back. It doesn't spring back. It doesn't decompress at the rate that I'm going down. So there's a little bit of a lag to it. So I just go with the flow of the compression and decompression rate, and it's a cruiser, right? Like I have a hard time picking up the pace in it. One, because it's gigantic, it's a behemoth, it's big, it's a big shoe, it's like boat. And the Neo Vista 1 was like a boat. There's just like a boat-like quality to the Zen and to that shoe as well. And so I can't see myself using it for anything other than recovery. So I had some speed work today. And then after the speed work, I had brought the Neo Vista 2 just to, cool down in it because I ran in the Streak Fly 2. I didn't want to warm up and cool down in the Streak Fly 2. That's the first time I've ever done that. And that's how I know I got too many shoes and I'm becoming a bougie runner. But um, I know that I'm running in it to get it to some arbitrary amount of mileage, the Neo Vista 2. Once I hit the arbitrary amount of mileage, I'll do a shoe review on it. And then I'm going to keep reaching for the Glycerin Max. I'm just not going to go there for that long. So Frank's in here. He says, I always kind of wonder if there are people with a fetish for messed up feet. That's a really good insight. There's got to be. There's got to be. It's not the clean feet, just They want to see the runner's feet. Yeah, I think you're onto something. Matt Byers here on the Rival Fly 4. He says, I hit 103 miles in my pair last week and met my Rival Fly quota. All right. Is that to get your money's worth? You need to hit the 100 mile mark. I know that's my benchmark for like 5K racers. Like, okay, I got the Takumi Sen to 107 miles. I know that if I don't have any other options, I will keep running in that shoe. You know, like it's not like I have to retire it because I got to 100, but I certainly can't retire it if I haven't hit 100. You got to keep going. So, let's see. Matt Beyer says Sagasu also referred to the rival fly as the Frankenfly. It uses Cushlon 3.0 foam for the midsole. See, I don't know much about all of the different foams. So, like, I know that the Zoom Fly 6 uses a, I don't know, SQ something. I don't know, some type of foam. Um, I'm trying to think, but it's not a good thing when I'm trying to think, guys. We'll go early. It's crazy. My wife went to Japan for 10 days. She's in Japan. We covered this, and everything is falling apart. So it's just like at the store, at the stores, people are sick, stuff's crazy, work's crazy. I was in a car for 10 hours yesterday. I had to do a road trip and drop my oldest off in Houston. We love Houston. We dropped my oldest off. And it's the other side of Houston. So like I was downtown Houston and it was like 45 minutes further still there and back out into the country. So my brain, I came home, my brain was fried. I feel like it is still kind of fried. So all right, let's see here. Continuing with some shoe talk. Yeah, I also took out the Wave Rebellion Pro 3 for my long run, and it's too hot, guys. It's too hot. I've altered my workout today and had it altered on the weekend, and it's my fault for both. I've been running when I can, and it's been when the sun is up and destroying me. So I've got to rise before the sun if I want to do the workouts as they are written by my coach, who is myself. So, and I like the Rebellion Pro 3. Some days I just really love it. And then other days it's not my friend. I would say this shoe is like it's like a be about it shoe. It's the thing what Floberg always says. He's like, yeah, you got to be about it. Be about it. Be about it. Or if you're from Canada, boot it. Okay, so be a boot it. You can't run in the Wave Rebellion Pro 3 unless you're a boot it. That's it. If you're feeling a tad bit lazy, you need enough carbs, forgot to eat your kids' Pop-Tarts, this shoe's gonna crush you. It's gonna crush you. You're just gonna get smashed. It's too aggressive. It's way too aggressive. It just like pushes you nonstop. And like you gotta to feel the full benefit of it, you got to be surfing the wave, and it's one of those point break waves at the end. Utah, give me 2. So yeah. Matt says David Salas from Doctors of Running really likes the rival fly as well. All those guys are so fast. Andrew is fast, so that would make sense. You know, when I first started, I listened to my run tube was the running channel, It was all the beginner favorites on and there's one guy on the running channel, and I don't remember. They got a squad. They got a deep bench over there at the running channel. And this one guy recommended all these shoes, in every single one of them. I I don't like the shoe, the Peg 37, the Brooks Levitate 2. They're still making that shoe. They're like on 6 or 7 or something. That shoe like broke my ankles. And yeah, I was a beginning runner, so maybe I wasn't running right, but I mean, like, I mean, you have one purpose for a shoe. I just got to be able to run in the shoe, right? Right. That's it. That's it. And I couldn't do it without breaking my ankles. I was like, you have one job, shoe. You can't do Brooks Levitate. So whatever. So I was like, yeah, don't listen to that guy. I thought he was an expert. He's on the running channel, which is official. I mean, they got a logo, they got a whole team. They do all these cuts. You learn a lot. It's this running channel, you know? But I should not be taking my shoe advice from that guy. That's what I learned. I got to find somebody else who I do identify with. Then I found Kafuzi. And then I started watching his shoe reviews, because then he always talks about like what it feels like to run in the shoe. I'm like, that's all I want to know. Because I don't, the drop, the specs, this. Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole, but I'm not. You just got to tell me. If you like this older shoe, then you may like this shoe. If you run like this, then you may like that. This is what it feels like. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. I just share that experience. So, speaking of which, so when my wife called me from Japan in a shoe store at 3:41 in the morning, my time, and she's like, "What about this Evo SL?" And I was like, "You know, I mean, I'm YouTube's so silly. I made a short, and it decides of all the things that I make. That short, which I shot at this desk in 20 seconds before I went to bed because I had to shoot something and upload it, goes out 85,000 views. It just goes everywhere. You know, the Evo SL is one note, and everybody's like, no, it's not. You're wrong. Disagree. You're an idiot. You're an average runner. They're coming at me. No one went for the chin, though. Chin's usually an easy target to make fun of. No one went. And I remember telling my wife, I was like, this is so bizarre. So the shoe is one note. I know she knows. She knows this. She's like, what about this Evo SL? And I'm like, well, it's one note. I know she has me on in the background, but I don't think she's listening to me. I don't think she really cares. But because she watches me, her algorithm, now Kafuzi's in there. So their run tube is trying to get to her book talk or whatever that she does. So Luis Becerra's in here. He says, hello, everyone. What's up, Luis? Oh, it's a small crowd today. I'm glad you made it. Matt Byer says, the quota for 100 miles was your amount of miles to run in the shoe where we didn't need to bring up the rival fly on every live stream. Okay. Yeah, well, now that I own the Rival Fly 4, it's going to end up still, we're going to hit the quota for a very long time. Even if it doesn't make my end of year list, I'll have to like find a way to be like, okay, in this honorable mention for not making the list was the Rival Fly 4, just so we got it in there. Oh, Jason Horner's in here. The Terminator. God, you could have followed Jason on Strava. He's just a machine. Just got the Glizzy Max off Supwell. Getting in 65 minutes easy on those today. Can't wait to feel the sweet soft cushion and punch my ticket on the hype train. You know, Jason, it's a subtle number. It's a sleeper, but it's not. I mean, somehow it's like Tim Duncan. It's like that was my review. incredibly great. Everybody says it's great, but still somehow slightly underrated. It's good. It is smooth. You can recover. You can do recovery. You could do every day. You could even pick it up. It's got a nice little bounce back to it. It is comfortable and semi-soft. So good. It's like Easy Days Easy. That's my shoe. That's the one I want to reach for. So Chris Mintle's up in here. What's up? Sup, everyone, says Chris. Hi, Chris. How's the how you feeling these days? I know you did some giant mileage with MAF and you're getting back to 100%. Luis Becerra's in here. He says, I have those levitate shoes. Yeah, those make or break you. Definitely not a recovery shoe. I think I want to revisit that shoe. I don't want to pay for that shoe. In the sleeper category of shoes, I would put the Brooks Hyperion Max 1. I haven't tried the Hyperion 2. I saw them at Academy. Went to Academy. My parents, my father and mother-in-law, they're animals. They had kids very young, and then so when the kids graduated, they party. They're just always at the river, always at the lake. They're like, "Hey, can we swing by and pick up the kids and take them to the river?" I was like, "Somebody's got to give these kids a childhood. Somebody I do. I don't think it's gonna be me. I gotta go to work right now for 10 hours. On Father's Day. Really earning the father in Father's Day. Gotta make sure I hit my quota of fathering. My fathering quota. So anyway, I don't know what the hell we're talking about. Jason Horner says, anyone else getting more and more follows in Strava from bots? Well, Jason, I think that those follows are because you're a machine. So might be some allies. My Terminator reference. I think the bots are trying to imitate you. I don't. I used to follow, like, Strava was my jam. I was on some hipster bullshit, but like I got into running and I was never a big IG guy, and I was kind of like, I'm not too old for Facebook. I think my generation is like the Facebook, like millennials. You have top half millennials and you have bottom half millennials, and the top half is like Facebook because they were in college when Facebook was around. And then on the bottom half, you have like Instagram or like more on that side of things. And then obviously the next generation, Gen Z is all TikTok and stuff too. Don't get me started on Gen Alpha because I don't skibbity in Ohio. I'm lost. I'm so lost when it comes to any of that stuff. But so I used to get on Strava a lot, and I used to get in the running clubs, and I follow people, and then I watch their runs, and then see what people are running. And then Strava's kind of thing, like Runner, like they follow you back or they like you back when they do stuff. So there's just people. That was like the app that I was on for a long time. And then at a certain point, I got busy and I wasn't on Strava as much anymore. And I wasn't able to follow back all the time. But then my feed is just so many people you can favorite. And so like I have favorites, right? So like Jason's on there, Frank's on there. Like I can see the runs. If you favorite somebody, they don't always pop up on the top, but it's so hard to keep up with. So I'm not even sure who's a bot or not a bot, but that's interesting. Runna's doing Intel. So they're planting bots on there to see. I did see a Serious Runners cartoon show and making fun of a short course for the 5K. and they called it Traina instead of Runna, and I thought that was pretty funny. That was pretty witty. Pedro Lemos in here. He says, "Only fans of running." LOL. Yeah, Pedro. I had to put a few disclaimers at the front. Okay, there's no feet. There's no feet in here. Okay, and there's no paywall. So there's no paywall. Okay, nobody's paying for anything, and there are no feet. But I was surprised. I was going to do OnlyFans of running shoes, but then it's like it's not going to only be running shoes. So I'll just be like, let's just keep it running, and then we'll do the live streams here, and then post my main videos on the other channel. So the Friday post is going to be, like I said earlier, the one about the burst phase and kind of everything that goes into it. And there's like a week of that. Let me see here. I wrote something down. Yeah. I don't, guys, I own like one light. I have a camera. I don't have camera operators. So I got my son to follow me around. He has an electric scooter, so he followed me around on the scooter. And for a workout last week, and it cost me a Whataburger with cheese and a cookie and a smoothie from Smoothie King, and that was it. He kept looking at me funny when I was calling. I was like, "Thanks, hey Cyrus." He was like, "What?" Never mind. But he did a good job. He's got a future as a camera operator if the drumming or swimming doesn't work out. So he's been getting into swim. He's doing a lot of swim meets. So I told him we gotta do a triathlon, like a relay. He could do the swim, but I got to teach the first grader. I got to get him off the training wheels, and we could start putting in some work. And then I feel like we could do something as a family. We could make a difference with the Iron Man. Let's see. As far as the sleepers go on the thumbnail, let's talk about something. I would put the Hyperion Max 1 there. I've been saying it for a long time, but I think the On Cloud Eclipse is a quiet little sleeper. I know people are like, "Yeah, it's a good shoe," but I think it's a great shoe. I think it's good, but on accident. Like it's accidentally like Modest Mouse, the band, accidentally makes an occasional hit. I mean, they're just so eclectic and weird and just quirky, and it's like all the elements come together in a package that can go on the radio once a decade, and that's it. Obscure reference. So I think the Rival Fly 4 is a sleeper. I think the Nova Blast 4 is the sleeper. Came out and everybody's like, "Oh, my Nova Blast 4 is an economy car now." And I was like, "Yeah, but it's good. It's really good. It's a cruiser." I still like it. It's a little bulbous, but you can walk in it. You can run in it. I still like it. I think the Mount to Coast R1 is also a sleeper, but I know it gets covered a lot. But Frank says, if bots count, I'm a huge influencer on Strava. It would be interesting, Frank, if does anyone ever see the quotes of your titled runs and know what book you're referencing or currently listening to? I'm interested in knowing that. Matt says, I have been getting a lot of those follow requests as well. I look at who else follows them and see if they are on the Supwell app before I accept their requests. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, it could be a Supwellian. Yeah, I've been seeing man, the Peg Plus just keeps coming at me. $60, $80. I'm like, oh no. Talking myself out of it. Saw the Nova Blast 5 for 100, and it was already sold on that one. But yeah, I don't need any shoes. I was really holding out or hoping that my wife stumbled upon the Metaspeed Tokyo in Japan. I mean, if there was ever going to be a time, like if you're in Japan. So let's see. Jason said, just tried the Ochi app to analyze my run form yesterday. There's nothing like looking at footage of your running form to destroy your confidence. Okay, guys, check this one out. So in the video that my son on the scooter was filming me in this, and it looked ridiculous. As Jason's saying, you get really humbled. In my head, I know I'm not Grant Fisher. I know. Okay. I know I don't look like those guys kicking their butts, like running effortlessly 4-minute miles. I know I don't. And in fact, that's how I know I'm not professional. One of the main reasons outside of not being able to break a 5-minute mile is also that I don't look anything like those dudes when they run, and I didn't run my whole life. So it makes a lot of sense. I didn't think there was anything that I could do about it. So I have seen occasionally some footage of myself running in marathons. Stevie 76 filming me at mile 21 of the Houston Marathon in 2024. And I'm like, that looks funny. I'm just like motoring along. I can't place why it doesn't look right. I just know it doesn't look right. But I'm running. I'm running 7-minute miles. I'm going. I'm trying, I don't know. But Ochi is it's an AI app. And so I downloaded it, and then I put it to use, and I ran, and I found out exactly what is wrong, and it makes a lot of sense. So now I'm doing some exercises and working on it. And yes, I've already got the title for the video after this video coming out on Friday. I asked AI to correct my terrible running form. Yeah, it's coming. So I don't know. I mean, we can't all afford Frederick Zellen, so Stevie 76 has heard Matt Troy is looking for another scooter camera guy. Oh, that's a great one. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, but it's gonna have to be one of those. I forgot the name of. It's like the mountain bikes where they're like all terrain. It has to be like an all terrain scooter because I don't know what it is, but the runner bro community is really or the hybrid athlete is also attached to ultras, and maybe it's the mental toughness thing or component to it, but just like go forever. Like they're all like ultras, and Nico Felix made a video with something training for an ultra, pacing a guy from an ultra. Jeremy Miller was doing some ultra stuff, just like a lot of the BPN guys. I have zero interest in ultras, so like, I mean, I'm not gonna watch any. It's like it's content based. I'm not playing favorites or anything. I think the only video I never watch from Kafuzi is like a trail shoe. That's like, well, I'm never gonna run a trail and that I know of right now. I don't own any trail shoes. This is not for me. It doesn't appeal to me. That's how I feel about ultras. Like David Roche, man, I watched one of his and I'm like, oh, cool. I'm rooting for this guy. But I don't care. I don't care about ultras. It's not personal or anything. I'm not going to go on that journey. So I feel like I don't know if Matt Troy's going to run an ultra. I'm just assuming that like he's going to need an all-terrain scooter for an ultra to cover distance. Didn't he? He ran Leadville. He already did ultra. Yeah, he's an ultra guy now. So, yeah, we'll see if he can afford my son. Frank says Modest Mouse hits don't really sound like hits though. They still sound angular. No idea why they make it on the radio. It's because it sounds like Mighty Mouse probably. I don't. I don't know. Maybe Float On got them a free pass to go, so they could just occasionally come out with something, and everybody's like, "Yeah, go listen to Mouse." But you're right, because there's a whole grip of bands that have I don't know, like, I'm not great with words here on music, but sort of psychedelic type of sounds or components that kind of make it not as accessible. So I don't know why they got to stand out. But I mean, you could say the same thing about Blink 182. And you're just like, well, it's a three-piece band. And, because even before Travis Barker was there, I mean, they were still on the radio. They were everywhere. It's just like three dudes, same thing. Green Day, you know. Frank says, sometimes if there is a particularly famous quote, I sometimes even get people quoting books back at me. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Matt Beyer says, Peg Plus is so good. Go full on Sagasu. It's a great club. Yeah, I did reorganize my closet to brand. So I have like the Asics shoes all together now. Before it was like, here's my rotation, and then here's retired shoes. And I did it by genre. So here's like race day shoes, here's like tempo shoes, here, whatever. Now it's like, okay, I have so many shoes, guys. Now, I mean, I do feel like an asshole when I say that. Like, oh, I got, whatever. And I think some guy just had a video. Is that guy in Japan? I can never remember his name. Soda something. It's like my 27 shoe rotation or something. And it's like that's where I'm at. And so I'll have like Nike. So it has the Streak Fly, the Rival Fly 4, the Vaporfly 3. It's just like got each shoe by the brand. So Puma's my favorite. Spoiler alert. Not that anybody asked, but the problem is the Peg Plus is like I got the Evo SL, the Rebel B4. I've got the Nike Zoom Fly 6. I got the Mach X2. I don't need it. Frank says, if people see a quote like, you have to be realistic about these things, or fist the bump, they get excited. Andrew Cho says, Peg Plus or Invincible 3, if you get either of them for the same price. That's a question for Sagasu. So I think those two shoes fulfill two entirely different purposes per pie. I don't know if that's a word. Probably not. So the Invincible, I did number one, and then when it went on sale for $98, I got a second one. The first one I got over 300 miles in. The second one I got 100 to 150, and then it fell out. But it is to me like the OG Mad Max bouncy kind of shoe, like the Mag Max. It was just so unstable, but I really like it. I don't know about the Invincible 3, but the Invincible 3, the Primex Strung 2, there's a lot of shoes that just show up, including the Peg Plus on the Supple app. When I see a shoe that a lot of people are trying to get rid of over and over and over and over, I'm like, I don't know about that shoe. The Endorphin Speed 5, $175. That's probably tariffs. I'm going to assume that's tariffs because I think Saucony was the brand that's like, hey guys, prices are coming up, but it's going to be the tariffs, you know. And in the coffee world, coffee goes up with tariffs a little bit. The cost of coffee, but coffee is also very cheap still, even then, depending. It can be bougie. It can be very expensive. But I will say, when people say corporate greed, that does exist because I know the prices. I know what we pay for everything. And it's like companies want to keep the margins sometimes rather than take the hit. And they're like, we're just going to bump everything up. Sometimes they don't need to bump it up, but they're like, everyone else is bumping up. We got this inflation. This is just the price of everything now. So, but I don't know. I can't speak to it for Saucony, but 175 for the Endorphin Speed 5 seems like a lot. Seems like I'm not going to buy that shoe unless it's somehow on discount down the road. I can't pass up a good discount. So, all my budget buyers like Jason in here bumping the creatine science, and it's cheap. So, I've fallen off because it's on a top shelf. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. I need to bring it down. Just start doing scoops. So, yeah, I guess before we end, we can just talk about races. What kind of races you guys got lined up coming up, or what are you running currently? I've got 3 runners with a race this week. One of them's a 3.5-mile race. That's mean. That's so weird. Just make it a 5K. I feel like he's like, hey coach, how do I pace this? I'm like, okay, follow me on this. Somewhere between 3-mile pace, like 5K pace, and 4-mile pace. Split the difference, right? Like, I want to tell him, like, I mean, maybe we should just subtract technically 5 seconds or 7 seconds from your 5K pace, but that's an awkward distance. Like it's not probably, it's a PR and it may be a lifetime PR because I don't know how many 3.5 mile races you're going to run. I have a runner with the 5K and a runner with a half marathon, but it's supposed to be like 80 degrees. And the weather has just been already starting to. Yeah, and I said this earlier. It's my fault. I'm getting up too late and running when the sun is already up. And where the heat and humidity really impacts me is on the endurance side of it. If it's a short burst, like last week, it was 200s, 400s, even 800s, I'm okay, right? Because there's only 4 800s, and then all the way back down again. The reps over, I'm okay. Like 2K repeats, 1K repeats. Oh, it's just so hot. And I feel like you just take a little longer rest breaks for everything to come down, the body to like quit overheating, and it's my fault. But this half marathon is supposed to be like 80 degrees and like degrees with a Z. There's a lot of Z's in there because you're going to be passed out. You can be, if you don't watch out, it's survival. It's dangerous. It's not an absolute danger. It's an absolutely dangerous run. I don't know. Jason says I got a 10K next 10K next month, but they just sent out an update that they are extending the course due to road work to 7 miles. At least it's not going to be a short course. This is the opposite of a run a course. Okay, so yeah, 7 miles. But you know what? You could still take your GPS time on your 6.25 and be like, that's the fastest I've taken my body physically across space time from point A to point B. I'm not one of those bit like chip times. Yes, okay, they count. That's all that matters for the race. How did I do in the race? Right. But I mean, me personally, I still honor science. Things like how fast did I get from point A to point B? It's okay. Matt Beyer can attest. You do it in a time trial, you still did it. Right. Now, I'm not going to say it's my race PR, right? I'm not going to be like, well, I did this in training or I did this, whatever, but I know that I did that. I still did that. Right. So, like the Austin International Half Marathon, I ran a 1:20:35. Strava says GPS, it's a 1:20:02. Okay. I still say 1:20:35 because that was the chip time, but I know I've crossed the distance a little bit faster. So, Frank says, I got an 8 p.m. 5K in 2 weeks. I'm not actually training for it. Frank, I don't understand, Frank. That's amazing. That's the ultimate sandbag. You should tell everyone you pass, and when you finish, didn't even train for this. You got beat by somebody who didn't even train. So are you just running mileage and then you're just gonna attack the 5K? But I will say 8 p.m. start, I would definitely not do well. I had a runner do the Tracksmith 5K, and that one's at night. I think I would bomb that race. And he actually missed his heat, so he had to go out with the faster heat. And I would definitely do what he did, which is I would just follow the people in front. I would go with the crowd, right? And I would go out too fast. It's just also I'm not. It's just human nature. So Andrew Cho says no race until September when I run the half and Chicago in October. There's a lot of Chicago marathon runners this year. That's exciting. I feel like we're going to just keep getting cold weather from here on out for Chicago. Ooh, Frank says expecting triple digits. That's brutal. That's rough. Because even in like a 5K, like my experience in running heat and humidity, you didn't ask. Completely unsolicited advice here is I go out 1 octave lower or slower than what I'm going to for the race. So if you say like threshold is short of your 10K, depending on your fitness level, I'll do my 10K at threshold. And the first 2 miles will feel like threshold. The next two will feel like 10K. And the last two feel like death, like 5K or whatever, just miserable. And the last third of a race, you should be suffering too. But it's just that ramping up just is exponential and there's no cool down period. 5K luckily is over a little bit quicker, but it's the same thing. The first mile, you might be okay. Second mile, you're just going to be overheating. Third mile, slowing down. I listened to, I don't know what it was, the Runner's Handbook, Runner's Handbook, Marathon Handbook, something. I know it's not hand job, but there's definitely marathoner in the thing. They pop up sometimes in my my run tube. And there was a question there about whether you would want to run a 5K in too cold or too hot. And they were like, oh, too hot. All of them too hot. And I was like, you must live in cold conditions begging for too hot. That sucks. Like, too cold, you could still run a PR. Too hot, you gotta subtract it. Like I got on the Macmillan calculator. There's the calculators. After last summer's 10K, I ran a 39:01 and it said it would have been a 36:08 or something. It was like good for 30 seconds because it's like 84 degrees or something. It feels like whatever, the humidity was really hot. So it's pretty significant on the slowdown for the heat and humidity. And the longer the duration of the race, the more insufferable it is. Like I think it's or exponential. Matt Byer says 16-week training block for nationwide children's half in Columbus, Ohio begins June 30th. Week and a half left of the bursting phase. I love it. I love it. My oldest is 14, Gen Alpha. Driving to Houston. We love Houston. Houston's great. And the other side of Houston is not. It's actually called Dayton. Because Houston is like, you don't live in Houston, you live in Katy. You don't live in Houston, you live in the Woodlands. You don't live in Houston, you live in said town. I mean, Houston is its city, downtown, if you happen to live there. But Dayton, I said, did you know that there's a Dayton, Ohio? Because Jen A is obsessed with Ohio. Ohio's the thing. And we were driving through a place called Columbus off I-10. She goes, yeah, so is Columbus. I was like, oh, education. Made us stop at Buc-ee's. We didn't buy a painting. I don't know if you guys know Buc-ee's. You know Stevie knows Buc-ee's. Stevie 76 knows the Buc-ee's, all about that. And it's amazing how busy it always is there. So eventful. So Stevie76 says, if Spoelstra can coach LeBron, midlife can coach a sub 230 marathoner. Hey, you know what? Jason Horner might be my first 230 guy. There you go. He's just gonna bust out at 228 in Chicago. Well, who knew? Who knew? Frank says his training right now is aimed at Chicago. Everybody's running. Everybody's running Chicago. I said I wasn't going to run or wasn't going to train long runs in the summer anymore. And after Chicago 2022, and then I did it last year for Marine Corps. And I regret that. So I definitely I want to run Chicago again at some point in my life, but I want to live somewhere different before that happens, probably. Because it's, again, bursting in the heat. Okay. Right. A medium long run in the heat. Okay. But when you get down to those 20 milers, 22 milers, 18 milers with some work in it, it's a lot. It takes a lot. So you gotta be planned out for that. Luis Becerra says, if Ty Lue can coach LeBron, midlife can. Basketball references. I definitely still love the NBA. It was probably the LeBron, Steph Curry, Golden State matchup from 2016 because I diehard Spurs, and as long as I've been alive, the Spurs have been good as long as I can remember. So through the 90s, 2000s, and then Kawhi jabbed us in the night with a knife there in the back and was like, I'm out. My feelings will hurt. I want to live in LA. And he left. I was like, man, sad. Okay. Now we're going to be terrible. I say we, San Antonio. But that was the first series where I actually got into it. And I was like, I like basketball so much. I care about this so much. I'm so invested. And I know neither one of these are my teams. So I still watch and I still root for him. So I'm not invested in Oklahoma City or Indiana. I don't care which one wins it. I'm always usually rooting for the underdog. So I would say I hope, and I like Game 7. So hopefully Indiana makes it a series. I know, Luis, you didn't mention anything about the current state of the NBA with your Lakers talk. All you guys with your Lakers talk, Ty Lue and LeBron. Well, Spoelstra is the Heat, but all you LA peeps. Jason Horner says, everyone could have a coach with dreams like this. Hey, you never know, bro. You're getting started and you got no quit. So who knows where the ceiling is? Let's check back in, after a decade and see where it's at. Right now, VDOT has me around a 245, but it's impossible to know any of these things when the heat and humidity obviously wouldn't actually happen that way. And so, but anyway, thanks for checking out this channel. I'll try to find a way to share it to where maybe the algorithm doesn't punish us. So we have more friends in here for next week. This Friday, I put a lot of work into this one. It's production value is going to be there for pretty much all the videos going forward. So check it out. And then we'll have AI correct my running form after that. So thanks for taking some time out of your day today to stop by. And if you're listening to this later and not live, I appreciate you giving it a listen. So y'all have a wonderful day and the rest of the week.